What's up, everybody, and welcome to my Friday night Smackdown review. What we got going on tonight, huh? Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Basically a lot going on from Kurt Angle's big birthday celebration and hometown hero and whatnot to the Usos defending the tag team championships against Drew McIntyre. Well, not Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre could not be in this match due to being medically disqualified and whatnot, so McIntyre's out. So it was Sheamus and Pete Dunne out there, basically, the Brawling Brutes and whatnot. Great tag match in general. Like, no surprise. It's the Usos out there, so you already knew you're gonna get something big. Of course, Sami Zayn and Solo Sikoa were out there also in this match. Basically, Dunn was in the ring after Sheamus, he kind of got knocked into after trying to go for the bro kick and then kicked basically back into Dunn. Tried to, go for the Usos, hit the bitter end, but the Usos got out the way. End up hitting the 1D for the win. Um, it wasn't that Sammy holding Sheamus's legs, so the Usos can get the win. So yeah, Usos still retain the tag team championship. So really no surprise there. And with Drew being out of the match now, kind of already made it known that Usos is gonna beat Sheamus and Pete Dunne out there. Kurt Angle is walking backstage with Gable Stevenson. Gable Stevenson. I always keep saying Stevenson, but Stevenson. We haven't really seen Gable Stevenson around since WrestleMania. I know they went into Braun Strowman then, basically introducing Stevenson. Hey, man, when you're done Performance Center, man, you need to come to SmackDown, all right? Hey, get these hands. Steven says, yo, hey, I'll call you. I'll be the first one to call you once I get out of the Performance Center. So, I'm going to see more of them throughout the night. LA Knight came out, talk about Bray Wyatt, talk about all the attacks that have happened and that he's been the cause of it, from showing clips of someone with a mask on and saying this isn't a snuff film and all that stuff. Basically, say he was going to, the mask one of Wyatt's toys. He's going to get him, and just kept showing all the evidence until they had the Howdy guy talk about saying he deserves to suffer and everything. So LA Knight said he was going to go look for him. Um, Legato, I guess, was being interviewed in the parking lot until they show Rousey and Baszler walking away from Shotzi Blackheart, who looked like her hand was taken out or just beat up by both of them again. So then that ended up happening. The Viking Raiders went against Legato, which is kind of funny because like aren't these guys really both these teams heels? So why are they facing each other? Then they had Hit Row's music hit, which honestly don't nobody really give a shit about Hit Row in general. So they're just kind of there to be there, which they did come out and attack Legato and the Vikings, but at the same time, nobody really gave a shit, or I don't think nobody really gave it what was going into this match, given it's two heel teams going against each other. But nobody specifically did not give a shit about Hit Row. That's been like that for a while now. LA Knight, I guess, was looking for Wyatt until someone with a mask was on there and then it disappeared. We never really heard from that again. Kurt Angle was, partying, I guess, his birthday with several people from Nakamura, Madcap, and Emma. And then they showed someone handing a camera, holding a card that said number one dad to Kurt Angle. And it was Jason Jordan, his whole son, hugging, remember the whole son storyline and he hugged them and stuff, which, it was kind of okay. That was pretty good to even kind of go back to that. I know it basically was dropped off a while ago. I know Jason Jordan, unfortunately, had to stop wrestling due to his neck. I know because he had like neck surgery, and it's been like a few years now, like since what 2017, 18. I think 18 he just stopped at that point. It was either 18 and 19 he was done. But he's been a WWE producer ever since, ever since the whole injury. So it does suck that he, cannot wrestle anymore due to his neck. But it was nice to see him out there, even with Kurt Angle doing the whole illegitimate, son storyline thing. So I was okay with that. Ricochet and Imperium were out there for a contract signing. Um, New Day came out then. Power Rangers, Green and White Ranger. Rest in peace to Jason David Frank, Tommy. But basically, they were talking about their match for NXT tomorrow night on Deadline. And they talk about how all these contract signings work and who's going to fight and who's going to do this. And, Walter will get mad. And we all know what's going to happen, okay? You know, Pearson, it's if that's going to happen or not. and Wood so like, don't you watch wrestling? You know it's gonna happen. And then they start saying Imperium can't perform, they can't perform, and then everybody just brawls, and it turns into a 6-man tag. Then which Ricochet ended up getting the win with the shoot star onto Bartel out there, and then having just face off with Walter then after that, after they won the match. So you already know where that's gonna go. American Alpha, I mean, Alpha Academy couldn't even get into the party. Would have been good to see American Alpha back for a quick second. But Street Profits able to get into the party. Usos were talking about what they're gonna do. I guess get dinner and everything. But Sammy and Jay Uso stayed behind real quick. Is Jay said, "Hey man, Roman coming back next week. You need to trim that beard, trim that hair, man. After war games, you gotta be looking good out here, okay? So come on." John Cena will be back on December 30th for SmackDown. I guess he'll be back maybe to do a match, I guess, or something. But John Cena will be back in a few weeks to return to SmackDown. Rey Mysterio was getting checked on in the back. Cross came in and talked to Ray, talked about what happened with Dominic. You're looking for a fresh start. And didn't talk about Scarlett's family from Romania. Talk about this thoroughbred horse that was to be a champion, a workhorse until he couldn't go anymore. And look, the horse is useless trying to look at Ray like that. And it's always seen an animal put an animal out of its misery. Security basically told Cross to leave. Then after that, as they all walked off. So I guess when Ray is ever better, he'll be facing Cross. They show Lacey Evans join the Army military video promo thing. So like I say, it looks like one of those join the Army commercials. Like we join the Army, join the Navy. That's what it basically looked like. Rousey and Baszler went against Liv Morgan and Tegan Knox. Yeah, at least they had a little short video package for Tegan Knox to kind of tell you who she is in a way, instead of just assuming everybody watches NXT, because mostly a lot of people know this girl is just for bad knees most of the entire time, which they did talk about, but at least they showed a little bit of what, who she is, instead of just, letting everybody assume. Raquel, I know, kept trying to come out there, was carrying him, held her back. Ended up with Liv Morgan, Tegan Knox win with the shiniest wizard and whatnot. So they won from there. Um, Roman will be back on SmackDown, Chi-Town next week. So yeah, SmackDown will be in Chicago next week, folks. Kurt Angle came out, the "You Suck" chants. Pyro, red, white, and blue. He's about to, thanking the fans until Alpha Academy came out saying that you do suck and we couldn't get into the party and everything. You got no integrity. You've lost your intensity. You should leave the ring now if you want to maintain your intelligence. And as he's walking away, they said, we're going to eat the cake and stuff. They're going to eat his cake. And I suggest you get going. So you're going to have another broken freaking neck. Kurt Angle left in, and then he says, you're going to need a lot of milk to eat that cake. Next thing you know, they got a milk truck. Well, not the right milk truck, I was thinking when Kurt Angle did it, but this old school milk truck with Gable Stevenson right there with him. They start throwing milk bottles in the ring. And then, of course, just like Kurt Angle did in 2001 to the Alliance and everything, he just starts spraying both Stevenson and, not Steven, but both Otis and Gable onto the ground with the milk. I can't say that, the $1 billion princess has become a Dairy Queen, but yeah, there was a lot of milk in the ring as Stevenson and Kurt Angle celebrated. So I expected Stevenson to do something else. Some people are already saying that Kurt Angle may be managing them. We heard that before when they say he was going to be managing Riddle, and that didn't happen. But I don't know. But Stevenson, maybe we're going to finally see him on the main roster. I don't know. We haven't seen a guy around since WrestleMania, and now they had him on here tonight with Kurt Angle and stuff, throwing milk and everything. So I don't know when he will wrestle in that. I'm not sure. I'm sure maybe soon, but like I said, we already know his brother. We've seen his brother on NXT. He's really good. Damon Kemp there. But we're still waiting to see what Stevenson's gonna do. Okay, but not a bad segment. Like I said, it's a old segment from years ago, but still, I enjoyed it. But yeah, other than that, that's my review of SmackDown now. So comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at HoodedKnight890. Tomorrow, or I don't know if it's gonna be Sunday, whichever. Of course, tomorrow we got the Ring of Honor pay-per-view and NXT Deadline. Maybe I'll review both of those shows. I'm not saying it's gonna be a joint review tomorrow, but I will review both of those shows or whenever I watch both of them. Don't know if we're gonna watch them back to back tomorrow. I got a lot to do tomorrow. So we'll see what happens with both of those shows between NXT Deadline and ROH Final Battle. Other than that, I'm out of here. See you guys then. Peace.